Hey guys, welcome to What's Collide. I'm Tony, and this is,
Matt.
and we're gonna be talking the Killing Joke.
Killing Joke.
I already gave my initial thoughts on it. This is gonna be like Matt's opinion because he didn't really like it. Well,
No.
he liked it, but
that's funny. Okay, I'm just gonna go straight into it. The Killing Joke portion of the film was fantastic. Loved it. The first half hour is garbage. Absolute waste of time. I absolutely understand what Warner Brothers DC was trying to do by making Barbara Gordon Batgirl a character. My issue with it is, one, the story's terrible that they wrote for her. Two, they turned it into a romantic comedy with her and her gay best friend pining over Batman, which for me is a little weird because I've always seen it. Now I know the comics is different, but I've never seen it that way. Maybe that's just me not being used to it. I'm used to seeing Batman as the father figure training. All right, the sex scene doesn't bother me because it's really nothing, but it's weird how it's all incorporated. But the issue that it turns into is after that first half hour, when you're learning nothing about Barbara, you're starting to care about her. It means nothing when the Killing Joke starts. It means absolutely nothing to the story.
Okay, well, I'm the opposite, but kind of confusing because it's like the beginning part I felt like was essential to her character. Like it has to build up her character when it gets to that pivotal moment where she gets shot. Because if it just goes straight to her getting shot and you don't really know her character, don't really know how she is, like her character all of a sudden becomes.
But does Warner Brothers think that general audiences are really watching this film? Realistically,
yeah, it's gonna be DC fans that are gonna be watching.
Realistically, and again, totally understand character development. I love character development. I just feel that what they wrote for her was
like it
garbage.
should have been better.
It could have been.
Yeah, and I agree that it could have been better. But regardless of what it did have, like I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me. Like she had a gay best friend.
No, none of that. No, none of that bothered me. It was more just like this story was terrible for establishing her as a character. I've always thought of Barbara, and maybe this is just me, as a very strong woman.
And she is.
Watching her, like.
But this doesn't. If anything, to me, this makes her feel more human because she's talking to someone about her feelings, and you're seeing a different side of her.
I still thought she was human.
I know, but like, okay, yeah, Batgirl's a really strong character. She's a strong, independent
even Barbara.
woman.
I'm not even talking.
Okay, Barbara, yeah.
It's like it's almost then dual personalities where she's like by day she's this nervous wreck pining over some dude, and then when she puts the Batgirl suit on, she's ready to kick ass, and it's like, well, then who are you? It almost like she needed time to figure out who she was, which would have been fine. But then when the Killing Joke starts, they toss her completely to the side,
and that's where it bugged me. I wasn't bothered by the first half, and in fact, I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything that particularly bothered me, I guess.
Yeah.
But to me, what bothered me is when they get to the end. Now, I know how the comic ends. I know it ends with Batman and Joker laughing in the controversial scene, whether it happened or didn't, Batman killing him. You know, I know it's open to debate.
Right.
But where it really got me is that there's no drawback to what happened to Barbara. There's no Bruce going to visit her in the hospital, or Bruce checking in on Gordon, or Batman checking in on Gordon, because Gordon went through this trauma ordeal, and there's nothing calling back to what happened.
No resolution at the end that makes you feel like
so.
Whereas, like, it's like if you've read the Killing Joke, I've read the Killing Joke. As a one-shot story, it works beautifully by itself. Which, again, I wouldn't have minded adding those characters. They could have expanded the Killing Joke itself. They could have given Barbara the more backstory, interweaved with the Killing Joke at the same time. They could have given Batman more interweaved with the Killing Joke at the same time.
And for this movie, like, as the comic book stands, it's a great piece of
absolutely.
It's an amazing
if you have
story.
not read it, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah. The comic book's definitely really good and really disturbing. But as for an animated movie, I feel that, like, to end it on that note, you're really, like, it doesn't work for a movie because you need to go back to what happened, or otherwise it's like that first part of the movie is irrelevant because it's like all of a sudden Barbara's not a part of the story.
Yeah, it ends almost like how a comic book does, where you have to wait until the next issue to find out. It's an abrupt ending. Yeah, and it's a problem. I was way looking forward to this film, and I was disappointed. Like I said, the Killing Joke part itself is fantastic. Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, absolutely destroyed it once again. Like they're the quintessential Batman and Joker for animated. Like it'll never be anybody else. But I was really disappointed by how ultimately it played out, especially that first half hour. Because I sat back. I think I texted you and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to watch it right now," and I was like, what am I watching? What is going on? I'm so confused. And like I said, I think it would have worked better if you started the Killing Joke story, wrote new material to interweave with it,
Yeah.
so that by the time Barbara does get shot, we've been in the Killing Joke story. It's been building up to this moment, rather than this awkward 30-minute build-up that ultimately leads to nothing. It leads to something. She gets shot. But, it ultimately leads to no resolution. And you're just like, you made me spend time on a character who you guys then made nothing.
Yeah. And that's where my thing was, is the ending. Just like, for a movie, it should have had more.
Yeah, it absolutely should have had more. So
what'd you think about...
Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say, what'd you think about the animations? Like, did it at least...
I loved it.
Yeah,
because it looked great.
When I read some complaints, and I do this, I'll read people's comments on other forums, and some people were saying they didn't like the animation. They didn't like how they used Barbara as basically because she had sex with Bruce. That a lot of people have a problem with that. Because it's supposed to be that mentor-daughter kind of relationship.
And I don't have a problem with it. I just think in the context of the way things work, again, back to who Barbara is, it almost just doesn't make sense that it's happening. If you wanna write a story for her, for him and her to have that kind of relation, that's fine. I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't be, but just the way that the first half hour is written, that when it gets to that part, you're just kind of like, this is really weird, because he's not, the whole movie, he's trying to protect her.
Yeah.
The whole first half hour, he's trying to protect her. He's not trying to, there's nothing giving off on him of like he's into it. Nothing. He doesn't give anything off.
It's like Batman, he shows no emotion.
I that's the thing though. So for her to pine over, I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I see him as that father figure protecting her. He's like, you're too involved, you shouldn't be on this case. Whatever the villain was named, Paris France or whatever his name was, it was just God. And honestly, I don't think they needed the R rating.
Yeah,
I don't think it
only showed a little bit of blood and some booby crack. It didn't show anything.
Yeah, it was not worth the R rating at all.
And for me, it's like, yeah, he's supposed to be that mentor, but I still view Bruce ultimately, I know Bruce's character.
Totally.
And ultimately, even his alter ego being a playboy, I still feel like that's still a part of him, because he still gets out, and he can't have a real relationship, so he does get out and, mess
Agreed.
around.
I can totally agree with that. I just think the way, again, how it was executed was just done poorly.
So what would you rate it?
I think I gave it a 6.5.
6.5?
I was really disappointed.
I can't recall. I think I gave it a 7.5. I didn't think it was anything amazing, but I also didn't think it was, a disaster.
Again, the Killing Joke part is fantastic.
Yeah.
You can honestly just really... I mean, as a DC fan, you can skip the first half hour and just go straight to where the Killing Joke starts. You really can.
Yeah, it's true. You can, because that's how...
One issue I do have, and I didn't actually notice this before, is how did Batman not realize that wasn't the Joker? Isn't he the world's greatest detective?
He is, but it's like, and to me, then, I know Batman's the world's greatest detective, but it's like, when you have so many corrupt people in Gotham, and even Hugo Strange being in charge of Arkham Asylum, I don't know if he's in charge of it at that particular moment.
Yeah,
but it's like, nobody's gonna tell you if the Joker escaped. Not even the guards are gonna say anything.
Well, I would feel like with their history, he would know that was the Joker when he walked in the room.
He would, but the last place he left him
was there.
Yeah, and the Joker plays mind games.
And
maybe that's why. Well, he only knew because the paint rubbed off, but to me, it's like nobody's gonna tell him, so it's something.
Chit chat.
Yeah, all that chit chat's gonna get you hurt. But yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable. It's not the best.
I'll wait for
a live action.
I'll wait
live action.
A live action Killing Joke. I'll wait till next year's.
That'd be amazing.
Next batch of WB animation films, because
Justice League Dark.
Yeah, and even the Batman Harley Quinn original that's coming. I'm totally on board with that. So ultimately, I was disappointed. I really was looking forward to this, and underutilizing that R rating. It doesn't, and that's the thing with the R rating, it doesn't have to be gore or anything.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of we've seen enough of what gets an R rating that I'm like, I don't think this really is an R at all.
It was kind of like the BVS Ultimate Cut. The little things you see were blood splats, and that was kind of it.
Really it? Okay, I mean, I guess.
And a few, one cuss bomb.
I don't know. I don't work for the MPAA, so whatever.
I don't know, but overall, I mean, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was anything special, but it didn't bother me at all. So
I was just disappointed, but like I said, if you just want to bypass it, watch the Killing Joke part, because that part's fantastic.
But I don't know. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What did you like Killing Joke? Did you didn't? If you liked it or didn't like it, did you not mind the sex scene? I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below, and we'll get back to you guys.
Bring it.
Yeah, but this is Tony from Worlds Collide,
and I'm Matt.
And thanks.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Later.